This Meditainment production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor.
The Whine and Cheese Show is a Metaverse and NFT discussion and interview series brought to you by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and host BEN68 and Morecheese. Warning: the information and opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved and contains content not suitable for anyone.
G'day and thanks for listening to or watching the Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses show. I'm BEN68 here with my co-host Morecheese for episode 67, recording on Friday the 13th. Ooh. For cheese, which is Saturday the 14th for me.
Yeah, today we talked about Upland-ish as usual, and then yada yada yada, something about the Wii, something about something else. You'll just have to watch.
Yes, and oh, by the way, round of applause for me for entering my 4th year of playing Upland, and give yourselves a big pat on the back also for being willing to dive into yet another shitty episode of
the worst show ever.
Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. One is a wanker, one's slinging stunts. One's from Australia, one's from the Bronx. Talking about the Metaverse and NFTs. Interviewing all the real crypto G's.
Hello, welcome to Whine and Cheese. Welcome to Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses show. I am Morecheese. Here is Mr. BEN68. He was having a bit of a wine before I pressed record. That's
me.
The laughter
Never.
is.
Never.
And this is episode 67. My gosh, one more episode. I wish this was 68 because it's your anniversary today.
It is.
In the States.
Friday the 13th for you. Ooh.
Yes, I love it. Isn't that awesome?
But I have officially begun my 4th year in Australia, in Upland.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
FYI, those will be seeing this on Saturday, but we recorded on Friday, so you guys are.
Or if you're on my side of the country, it's recorded Saturday, see it on Sunday.
On Sunday, freaking scram.
Wake up early morning Sunday, get a dose of rubbish in your ears and eyes holes. Yes.
They love it. Who doesn't like rubbish in their ears and eye holes?
I don't know. What are we kicking off with first? Anything in particular you want to dive into, or should we just get straight into it?
I say get straight into it. I know right now they're doing the live auction for Upland. It's pretty cute. I gotta say, it reminded me a bit of QVC, which is if you watch the Shark Tank, one of the people up there, the lady, she works or heads QVC, and basically it's a place where people call in and buy shit.
Yeah, that reference doesn't track because we have Shark Tank here, but it's Australian sharks, so it's all different.
That's
I
pretty
assume
cool.
they do that. I assume they do that in all the different countries.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I don't mess with auctions. Just every time that they do an auction, it seems like it never works. And I don't know. It's just something that doesn't interest me whatsoever. Well, that's cool. It seems like it's working at least.
Yeah, they have a lot of outdoor decor in there. They have some gnomes. They have some tiles. Oh my God, Ben!
What?
We're getting Buenos Aires finally.
Yeah, we'll get there. We got a lot to talk about. We've got gnomes to talk about, Buenos Aires. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the list. But first, I want to reflect on that little bet that you and I have got going. Do you remember what the figure was when we had the bet? I think it was 16,000 something. I think it was 16,000 and change.
What's that number for?
The Bitcoin price.
Oh, we didn't really have a
Yes,
just,
we did.
we didn't
It was
have, no,
50
we didn't have
Apex.
it going up. We had a bet. We didn't have
Yeah.
it going up. We had it going down. You said that it was going to be under.
That's
Look
the
at
bet.
that beautiful thing. Look at this.
Yeah, but that's the whole bet. The price was 16,000. You bet it was going to go up. I bet it was going to go down.
Yeah.
So,
You said
So,
it
yeah.
was going to go under 15 or something. It was going to go
Well,
to 12.
whatever it was 16,000 and change. It was somewhere around here where we made the bet. Cheese
Yeah.
bet we were going green. I bet we were going red.
Never
Look at
bet
that.
against the day trader.
Well, look
Never.
at this candle over here, lady. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Don't get too cocky. Pretty easy for a couple of big fat red knives to fall. We still got. When did we say? The 15th. So still got two more
2
days.
days, Ben. You're gonna lose.
Yes. We'll
Never
see,
go against
we'll
the
see.
cheese. What it's doing now, you see this U?
Yep.
There's a term for it. It's correcting itself.
Yeah, you've got to scroll out.
It's filling the
the daily.
gap.
Let's go to the monthly. There's a lot of correcting to do on the monthly. Yes. So we'll see how we go. I'm still expecting.
You're so hopeful in 2 days. You're so
Yeah. Well, I mean, either way, I win because, like,
you don't win.
I'll lose the bet. But if we get some red knives and the price drops, that's better for my dollar cost averaging. If it still
all
goes
right.
up,
Yeah, I get that. But
that goes
still,
better for my hodl bag. So either way, I
I
win.
technically win, and I'll take
Oh, you'll
that
definitely win.
throwback.
You'll win the bet. Now, what I'm most interested in is that market cap price. So we're still under 1 trillion. So I mentioned that on the UDU podcast, not financial advice, of course.
Are
but
you going to
that's
say that
my-
word again? Dollar
What?
cost
Do your own
averaging?
research.
No.
Yes. My favorite.
Your favorite
term.
phrase.
So yes, as soon as that gets over 1 trillion, then I'm gonna keep a closer eye on that. That's my little figure.
Bigger.
Yes, but we'll see how that pans out. Yes, in Upland news, a lot happening in Upland at the moment. Oh, these are all going to reload. I had all these preloaded again. Did you see this, Cheese?
I did.
Upland has passed 10 million in NFT to USD sales. That's pretty cool. That's
That
a lot
is
of
cool.
a lot of cheddar. I've only dipped my toe into USD sales recently because I've got a 1-month holiday to Japan to pay for.
Yeah. Any
I was
luck with
selling-
that?
Bit over 1,000 at the moment. I was selling pretty consistently, but it just seems to have all dried up. So I'm going to have to reevaluate some of my floor prices. And it's when you're playing the floor, it's just the undercutters game. So
Yeah.
there we go.
And I kind of just want to say something because I know you've been telling me that people have come to you offering you these really awful deals.
Yeah.
I want people to know that this game is about community, but it is also about making money. You can't expect anybody to give you a deal of what you like. If you're asking for what the person actually paid for it, that's not a deal.
It's just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And it's in some cases, it's not. I'm just getting random offers. It's me reaching out, trying to work with these different projects, saying, "Look, I'm holding all these properties. I've got so much UDU stuff to do. I'm never going to get to build in these areas. I don't want to hold up and mess with what you got going on. So can we work out a deal?" And like, yeah, no worries. We'll sell to you at the city floor. Like, how does that make sense? If the neighborhood floor is pumped because it's a node project, you can't expect to sell at the city floor. That's just madness. Like, we'll get to this in a bit later when we look at our data, but think of like how much money you've spent to get the Bronxdale node secured buying up the secondary, or me paying up to $700K for a basic property in Midtown Terrace. People saying things like, "Oh, I don't believe in neighborhood lines," or "That's not what I focus on." Well, so what? The market does.
Yeah. Everybody has their own perception. If you want to have an open community node, that's fine for you. If you want to have a closed, that's fine for you. Nobody's right or wrong. It's just what people want to do.
I tried. That's what it comes down to. I tried. If people don't want to be realistic, they don't want to work with me. But then you can't in out the side of your mouth, you can't go and then shit talk people's names saying, oh, they're just an asshole. They don't work with people. I mean, if all your offering's rubbish, that's what you're going to get. So that went a bit crazy. Back to the good side. Yeah, I think this is really, really awesome. It shows the value of what Upland is. Like, it isn't, as much as I like to say it is just a game for me, clearly it's not. If people are pulling out $10 million, like, what other metaverse or any kind of blockchain game are people pulling those figures out? Now, I'm not talking like within secondary sales, all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I guess it's a bit different because I don't think there's any other, like Decentraland and Sandbox and that. Sure, you can flip your properties or whatever the hell they are on the secondary market on OpenSea or whatever. But this is a kind of completely different system.
Mm-hmm. And there's always opportunities. Like, let's say I joined a game right before the FIFA was announced, and I spent maybe $50 on buying, the FIFA legits, and I sold those for $600, like real money. And like, that's an opportunity that would have been something a new person could have gotten into and accomplished with an investment of $50, and you're not going to make any money if you don't spend any money. And yes, you do have to do some due diligence and research, but it can be done. Like Upland is a great opportunity for a lot of different kind of players.
Yeah, I mean, we know plenty of people that are playing with house money now because they've basically cashed out their initial investment.
Mm-hmm.
We have disclaimers, I think, at the front of both of our shows, where this is not financial or tax advice, but I've done some digging into this myself. Like, as I'm getting set up to pull out, maybe, I guess my goal is $2,000, which will be nearly 3,000 Australian. I have to declare that in my tax report for this year. There's no way around it. Like, people say, oh, you don't have to declare it because it's bloody a hobby or this, that, and the other thing. From the Australian perspective, if you're selling whatever you're selling on eBay, it's a very grey area.
It's great. I know you're able to make a certain amount of money before you have to claim it.
Depends what you're selling. Again, this is from the Australian perspective.
Yeah.
If I'm looking around my house and I get a whole bunch of junk that I sell on eBay, that's fine. That's not taxable income, because that stuff, I didn't get that for the express purpose of selling at a profit. I think you're going to be very hard pressed if you were to get audited or whatever. You're going to be very hard pressed to say that you bought all of this stuff in Upland and you weren't thinking of selling that as a profit. So once that becomes this was purchased to sell at a profit at a later date, then that's taxable income. So any of that funds that I pull out via Tilia and PayPal, I got to put a big chunk of that away for tax time.
I think it's a bit different in the US. It's a little more lenient. But when that thing comes through in 2024 that we had that one episode about, they're going to be, we might start seeing some.
What was that? $600 or something like that, wasn't it? That was going to be the reported rate or something. Anything over 600 was going to be reported.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's similar here. Like PayPal, Tilia, they all file reports to the ATO, the Australian Tax Office. So yeah, just be careful. Like I've got two of those Wall Street properties of mine. I've got them up for 100,000 US each. Like, if I was to get after tax, whatever it is, 90,000. You ain't going and popping the champagne bottles and celebrating and going to the casino. Like, you got to be smart about it, or you're going to wreck future you.
Yeah. I agree. 100%.
So yes, USD sales, I think it's a great addition to Upland. It works really well. But yeah, just tread with caution, be smart. It has been interesting to note, somebody raised the issue in the Upland debate channel just last week. I was scrolling through the other night talking about that, like tax thing. And then this guy is also thinking, well, hang on a minute. Am I going to have to report all of these UPX sales as well? And like, we've talked about that for ages ago, because every crypto to crypto trade is a taxable event. well, UpX is technically a crypto, but not really.
It's
UpX
not.
itself doesn't have any financial value. It's a weird one. So yeah, I'm not going to go. Well, I basically can't. I've got like tens of thousands of trades and stuff in my account, so there's no way I can report that. I'm just going to stick to that Tilly balance. Whatever I pull out, that's what I'll report.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be on the platform, the responsibility of the platform to kind of issue out those W2s or whatever to for income.
Yeah, I think didn't Upland updated the terms of service recently, and I think they fleshed out the tax section of that to a bit more. And it was basically you need to do your own tax research. So yeah, you can't rely on that sort of things. So.
They're gonna have to. Maybe that's for right now, but they're gonna have to if that law comes into play. Because
yeah, I think we've talked about that before too. Like, it's probably be a good business idea for one of these blockchain rippers that can do that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see how it all pans out. But yeah, USD sales, as I said, they're great and all. Just be careful out there, you maniacs. So that was cool to see that. The other big news, of course, is yes, we had Buenos Aires drop. What do you think? Argentina capital. First city release of 2023. What was your initial thoughts on this?
They're not really putting out too many neighborhoods, but see, like they say, collections 11 to 17. Like you have to wonder, you have to go into this very strategically. So I haven't done any research yet. I'm gonna most likely get in touch with Banana and see what he says with his, because he has that really awesome thing, and he was working on Buenos Aires because he's a smart kid. He had it in his head. It might be worth it to go there and maybe get some coastal stuff.
That's gonna be gobbled up.
Yeah,
lickety split.
It's gonna be a matter of where you are on a map.
So we've got 6 neighborhoods, 17,500 properties, but 30% of those are FSA. So you're going to have basically all of the established upland community fighting for a bit over 12,000 properties.
Yeah.
That's maybe 1-2 properties each, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
And of course, they do it at Mofo AM again. They're committed. They're committed to DGAF. So I don't. You know what? I made the decision yesterday. I'm sleeping straight through this one. I'm not even waking up.
Really?
Yep. I'm gonna. Well, because the property count is so low. Like I said, 12,000 properties. It seems like they're going to do this from now on, where they release a tiny amount. And like we saw with Rio, how many expansions did we have there? 3 expansions, like one after the other after the other. So
true, but
I'm gonna sleep through this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
A lot of the stuff they're opening is going to be by the water.
I don't care about that because I'm never going to do anything there. If I was going to, I think for me, and we'll get to this later, what I'm doing with my account this year, I will buy properties in every city, but for any of these new city releases that I don't really care about, I'm only going to get 3 to 5 to fill out the generic collection. I'll get 3 to 5 good ones for about a 200K budget. So I'm going to skip this Buenos Aires burn. I will wait until post vanilla once the collections are revealed, and then I will target specific collections. Like if I'm only going to buy 3 or 5 properties, well, it makes sense that I buy them in a collection neighborhood if I'm able to, because there's going to be, like, if you go to Rio now, there's so many big properties all over the place.
Yeah, but devil's advocate, if you get, like you said, maybe 1 or 2 if you're lucky, the flip percentage on that before collections come out is going to be absolutely crazy. So this is what I tell, this is what I'm going to recommend people to do. Go to Buenos Aires, buy a property, flip it for 3 times, and then come to the Samurai Aquatics Outdoor Decor sale with your profits, and
Nice.
win-win, right? So you win, you get some properties there, you flip them for a great amount, you get some outdoor decor, and then we win, and it's a 3-winner.
Yeah, it's risky though. Like, I think more and more people are wising up to the fact that Upland's they're basically forcing that FOMO session, like this first release, and they're forcing the inflated secondary markets. But like now I could go and gobble up the floor in Rio, $3 under mints. Or I could go and buy a whole bunch of under mint collection properties.
This is going to be before collections come out, is what I'm saying. Before collections come out, the FOMO is real.
Yes, absolutely. But I think people are wising up to the fact that that's very temporary. Like, we know within 2-3 weeks they're going to release another expansion, and there's going to be a whole bunch more properties.
Of course, but this is the fight to see what collections you get.
Yeah, with the what do they call it? I forget the word. Yeah,
like once those collections
into the
come
speculation.
Out, yeah, like if they don't put the collections out until everything is out, then that's pretty cool. But this is the first opening is always going to be the best, because that's the one that's going to tell you what collections are there. So if you could buy and sell before that happens, you're golden.
Well, there's only 6 neighborhoods, so the chances of all of those collections being in them are pretty low. I would imagine at least 1 or 2 neighborhoods, maybe in streets and all of that sort of stuff. So I think once, for me personally, once they announce all of the collections and that sort of stuff, then I might start taking interest. But until then, I ain't getting up at 2 a.m. for a release that I don't really care about. So I'll be sleeping on through and maybe gobbling up some under mints once all of that, collection speculation dies down a bit.
Well, we all have our different ways to play.
Yeah, I guess it just depends where you're at. Like, if you're somebody who's new to the game or trying to get established, yeah, absolutely. Trying to flip to take advantage of that FOMO aspect is a very, very smart play.
Yeah.
Just don't. You can't bank on those flipping and selling. You might get stuck holding a bag there. So just have a plan.
I mean, that's with any kind of investment, really. You get not everybody's going to be a winner.
Yep.
But if you want to win, you have to try.
Can't get the biscuit if you're not going to risk it. Yes. All right. So yeah, if well, it sounds like you're getting up and gonna do battle for some waterfront properties. So
I would like to have at least one that I could flip.
Nice. All right, I got something else. Oh, and you segued over to that. Yes, now, when was it? Probably last week we released that Samurai Aquatics is going to have the next big sale on the 21st of January, PT time. And of course, the Buenos Aires drops 2 days before that. And we're like,
but
like we talked about last week.
It's not really that, because it's not going to be that many properties, like you said.
It's just frustrating. Like I said last week, I think it was, like, it's just every single step seems to be a kick in the face.
Oh.
So, yes. So that's over there. If you haven't seen it yet, you will soon, because we'll be spamming it everywhere. And all of these are going to reload. What a pain in the butt. So yes, the next massive sales waves of outdoor decor will drop on Saturday, 21st of January, PT time. Keep in mind that's Sunday for, people on this side of the world. So 3 waves. Wave 1 at 11 a.m. PT, which is very early a.m. my time. Wave 2, 3 p.m. PT, which is about lunchtime. And then Wave 3, 7 p.m. PT, which for me is in the evening, I believe.
And look at those amazing prices. I just feel like for all the work that D-Tech put into every single piece, and like with your ideas and my pixel art and whatnot, like, these are prices that pretty much anybody, even coming into the game, can afford.
Yes, absolutely. Now we've got, for each wave, we've got several sets or full sets of the 10-piece collector set. Plus, there's going to be the Samurai Surfer, and the main feature for these sales is the fountain at the moment, we've got 37 of those available for each wave. I'm trying to squeeze in an extra 9 to be manufactured so I can round that off to 40 because it's kind of bugging me looking at that number. So yeah, we'll see how we go. So what does that look like? This is what it currently looks like. If you're listening on the Spotify, we're looking at the Samurai Aquatics and Decor showroom, 30 Aqua Vista Way, Midtown Terrace, San Francisco, all lined up nicely and ready to go. So yeah, we've got a bunch of the samurai statues. I believe we're manufacturing another 3 or 4 now. And yeah, full sets of all of the 10-piece items. And then the main feature is the fountains. Whole bunch of those.
I love those fountains so much.
Yes,
I
with
love
the I'm gonna log out too before I forget. With the what was I gonna say? With the city release dropping a couple of days ahead of this, obviously I don't think we're gonna see the same instant sellout as we had with our first sales. So I think there's gonna be plenty of time for people to get over there and grab what they want. But who knows? Don't sleep on it. If you are thinking about getting one of those pieces, make sure you get over there because you may miss out. We just don't know how it's going to play out. I'm excited to do that. I'm not excited about individually listing 200 items. So see how we go. All right, I forget what we had up next. Oh, this is some other interesting bits. You mentioned gnomes at the intro of the show. Well, I reached out to you earlier in the week and said, Cheese, would you mind if I put up a gnome cult circle in the Bronxdale in your node?
I was like, hell yeah.
Because I didn't have any room in Midtown Terrace, so this was the next spot. So it turns out it's right next to Finsky's building, so he can look out his window.
He can pray from the window.
Creepy madness going on. Yeah, how did you go with the gnomes? Did you get yourself a few?
I got 2. I got one of the chubby guy. He's behind the grill making hamburgers, and then I have the lady. She's there waiting for her hamburger to be done.
Nice.
Yeah.
I set myself up in Rio over a couple of days and managed to get the full set. The last one, actually, I went to bed at like 10 p.m. and the last one was going to mint at about 11:30 p.m. And I was humming and hawing, should I set an alarm and get up for it or not, or wait till the next batch? And I thought, oh, bugger it. I set the alarm. I got up, bought it, and then the next day I went back to get one more because I realized I had this is a full set for this little idea I had, but I wanted one more at least to put in front of the grill in Midtown Terrace. But I went back to the showroom and it's completely empty. And I went, oh, that's weird. So I went over to the factory and they're not making them anymore. So I was so lucky that I set that alarm. Otherwise, I would have had 11 of the 12 and that would have bugged the shit out of me.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, it looks like they've stopped making them.
Wow. So whoever got a good amount of them, good on you.
Yeah,
good on you, Ben.
Yeah, well, I wasn't interested in for ages because it was that whole battle where people were setting alarms and fighting over the buttons, and I wasn't involved in that. But later on, it was pretty easy to pick them up. So yeah, that was kind of cool. But it is kind of bugging me that I don't have one extra one to put in front of my grill, like you said. So there I go. I might pick up one on the secondary market if they're not going to start them up again.
Yeah.
So what else is happening in Upland? We had the Chode node is in full effect.
So cool.
If you don't know what the Chode node is, look back at the old UDU podcast videos. We did a spotlight on it. So, I reached out to the UCC for a quick little 500K contract, and they're currently blitzing through these. I think we've already built 6 of them or something like that. These little micro houses get built super fast. So thank you to Mass Chef and Option Guru and the team at UCC for working with me on one of my crazy ideas yet again. So this is in Santa Clara. And it turns out it's right smack in the middle of, there's a node team that's doing something there with a racetrack and all that sort of stuff. So
oh, nice.
I got no idea what I'm going to do with this in the future, but I minted all of these back in the day when Santa Clara released. I minted this first block in the middle, and I thought, oh, that's nice. And then for some reason, I picked up one of these other ones over here, and then I was like, well, now I got to finish that block off. And then I got then I got FOMO and finished that block off. So it was quite expensive. It was 34,000 UPEX each or something.
Yeah, those in Santa Clara is pretty expensive.
And I think there's about 80 properties there, something like that. So yeah, it's quite expensive. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but for the moment, I'm just building and sitting. Hopefully we'll get some utility for these things one of these days.
One of these days.
All right, now before we kicked off the show, I started poking around in our data and we had a little bit of a conversation about that. I want to dive into that before we get to some articles. If you don't already know, you can get yourself over to upexland.me and you can check out your historical data, anybody's historical data. So I've pulled up my data here. So as you can see here, it says, yeah, January 13th, 2020 is when I believe that date is pegged when you upgrade from visitor to Uplander, once your account becomes official. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure I did that the same day. Like I downloaded the game and I'm pretty sure I bought whatever it was, so many dollars worth of properties, and I went to Uplander straight away. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it kind of makes sense in my head.
Yeah.
And yes, yeah, when we were talking, and Cheese's data's here too. Is it gonna? Oh, don't close it. Yeah, more Cheese's data here. So, do you remember? Did you officially start on March 15th? You probably were the same, that you upgraded straight away.
I thought it was the 14th, but it could have been back then. I was very much an insomniac, so it could have been like 12 a.m.
Or you might have downloaded the game and played as a visitor on the 14th and then upgraded on the 15th.
Maybe, perhaps, yeah.
Yeah. So we were looking before. I thought these numbers were interesting. Like this is Cheese account here. The mint value of her properties is about 24.5 million UPEX, but the total value of her properties, what she spent on it, is 47. And I thought, oh, that's weird. That's quite a big gap. But then if you look at mine, it's pretty similar. 100 million mint value, and the total value is a bit under 150.
But doesn't that mean like today's value?
I believe this is the mint price,
and then
this is what you paid for it. Not today's value. The today's value one, you can look at that on Upland Optimizer.
Oh.
So, there's at least 30, or there's about 30 million worth of my properties that were burner buybacks from all my UCC contracts. Like I've spent between 20 and 30 million developing Midtown Terrace and that sort of thing. So I always save my burners. So that's reflected in my price here. And we were talking about too, remember we were talking about that, how much it costs to be a node manager. I think this is a reflection of that.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I spent up to 700,000 for something that was. I shouldn't be saying this because then people are going to be like, "Oh, she's going to buy my stuff really high now."
No, your node's established.
Yeah. Like 50 something came in. Oh God.
Yeah. So that's, especially if it's not a community node, if it's you're the node manager and you're kind of frontline the development of the area, and you're the one that's raising the floor and doing all that sort of things, yeah, it becomes quite expensive pretty quickly. Like I don't know how many millions I've spent gobbling up the floor in Midtown Terrace. Yeah.
And then helping other people out. Like I know Lone Mountain, I got a lot of properties there that were in the 50K UPEX, which were like what, 5K?
Yeah.
10K min.
Yes. So this year, two of my big goals are obviously to get more spark. Like, what have I got? 23.39. That's not even enough spark to run the large factory.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I need some more sparkage to run the large factory. My other big goal is to play with my charts now. I'm not interested in mint net worth. I'm not interested in properties, and I'm not interested in up squared. This is the one I'm interested in, number of properties. So as you can see, you can go back right in my history. I famously got 100 back here, way back in, what's that, April. First year, April 2020. I was 110 properties, and I was like, man, this is such a pain in the ass trying to manage all these properties. So I did a big undermint fire sale and ended up down into the 50, and I think I managed to get back to 60 range. And then at one point I was down in the 20s, and then of course history, yada yada yada, went bonkers all the way up to 6,000.
The history of Ben, the Ben show.
No, we're going to look at yours too, lady. I've got yours ready to go. So, yeah, bit over almost 7,000 I got to. Look at that, 6,666. And then, yeah, I've started to sell off. I want my properties way down under 3,000. So I've still got shed loads of properties to sell this year. So as I said at the start of the show, I am trying to reach out to these node projects to work with them to get them a deal. I am flipping floors. And if you're somebody who's working a treasure map somewhere and you see one of my properties, reach out, and I'm pretty sure we can work out a deal. Yours is pretty linear here. Anything in particular of yours you want to look at?
I have no idea what I'm looking at.
This is your chart. This is...
All right.
Let's do similar. So this is your up squared line. So you started off, yeah, pretty slow, and then, oh, these must be city releases. Look at those big bumps. Whoa. And then pretty steady progress from that. Tracking on up.
That's like how big the properties are?
This is how many up squared you hold, like total up squared percentage, the number that you hold. And then your total number of properties is very similar. So you haven't, from this, I take it that you're very much a hodler.
I am a holder, yeah.
Yeah, there's not many dips, not many big dips. Just tracking on up. We're just waiting for that big moonshot candle. Yes. Right, so that's it. If you haven't checked that out, get on over to upxland.me and check all that out. All right, you interested in some articles? I think you're going to like this first one.
Sure.
Oh, because it's going to load. I'll preload all these. Shiba Inu and Shib the Metaverse gear up to offer the first preview of the Wagmai Temple.
Ooh.
You were in my ear about Shiba Inu for a few months there in the UDU podcast, and I managed to get myself a bag that I'm building.
Nice.
Yeah, because
I know that they mentioned before that they were buying up a bunch of their tokens back and burning them. Mm-hmm. Of course they have a long way to go, but yeah, it's almost, wait, is it back over the 10 mark? It's almost there, and that's what happened. That's where it was before it started going down. Like you really had a chance to get this at like as low as under 0.000008.
Yeah, it's got to be too.
Now one of those zeros is gone, and I mean it's fun. You know, you get $50 worth, and you have like what, 4-5 million.
Yeah, I remember after you'd been mentioned, I was like, oh right, I'll go and have a look, and I typed in the figure of, you know, I thought, well, how much is a million? And it was like $2.20 or something.
Exactly.
It might have been like $12. Yeah, I forget what it was. I just laughed. Yeah. So, yes, we'll see. It's one of those things where, am I expecting to be able to sell it more and, you know, pay off the mortgage? No, but it's kind of just a fun little hodl bag to sit on and see where it goes.
I mean, Doge, or however you say it.
Doge, yeah.
Was the same thing, and then it went like crazy. Like, people are weird, people are silly, they're going to FOMO. I mean, will it? I don't think it'll go anywhere near $1. That would be madness.
No, but supplies way too high. Yeah, but unless like you said, they burnt a whole heap of them. But there was people that went all in on Doge and it paid off for them.
Oh yeah, yes it did.
You never know.
Yeah.
So it says here, Shiba Inu, a dog-themed meme coin and Dogecoin competitor, is gearing up to preview the first feature or so-called hub of their ecosystem's metaverse at a virtual reality, augmented reality exhibition in Austin, Texas in March 2023. Hubs are epicenters of activity within the metaverse, offering distinctive experiences rooted in different themes. Shiba Inu's new offering is called the Wagmai Temple, and it is the first of 11 hubs. Attendees will have the opportunity to preview it in the SHIB ecosystem's metaverse. So that's cool. There's clearly a lot of development going on behind the project.
Yeah. Did they say when this is going to come into play?
It just mentions that
in March.
That preview date. So that's March is when they're previewing the feature.
I might have to go to Austin, Texas to check it out.
How far away is that from you?
It's pretty far.
Like 2-hour drive, 4-hour drive?
No. Oh
20
God.
hours?
Further than Vegas, and then double that, so probably 12.
Okay, so it's doable, but
it's doable, yeah.
It might be a hard sell with Sawley to convince him to go on a.
He loves. He loves road. I love road trips. Oh really? My God, yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, getting out of the car is hard. But if I'm like secure in my little car and we're listening to our little 90s rock hair metal.
Nice. This is kind of a bit red flaggy though. Shiba Inu bulls prepare to push the meme coin to 0.00010, whatever it is, 1039. I hate reading stuff like that.
It's what happens though. That's how it happens. That's what happened with Doge. That's what happens with shares all the time. It's like if the bank wants to keep this down, they'll keep it down.
Yeah, let's just have a look at the price action here. I'm just pulling Shiba up on crypto market cap. Oh, it's pretty close. It's not that far away.
It's not that far.
Interesting. I would imagine the candles are gonna be very similar to the Bitcoin chart we were just looking at. I wish they'd just make TradingView the default. I hate that I got to click on it all the time. Do people really look at that silly wavy price one? Maybe they do. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Little pump there at the end.
Filling the gap. Filling the gap.
Filling the gap. We'll see. All right, what else? Anything else in here? Look, they've even got TA in here with this post. That's kind of weird. What is this? What's this website? CryptoBros.com? No, FXStreet.com. Never heard of it.
Oh.
So we'll see.
I heard of it.
Oh, did you? So we'll see. That's interesting. At least there's some kind of development going on there. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe you can report live from the Shiba Inu Metaverse thingo. No, moving on. Let me just reload all of these at the same time. Now, I pulled up these articles, but I completely forget what they are. There's one right at the end that's going to be interesting, though. This one, the Metaverse will make its biggest impact on industry. Here's why. Like we've been talking about, well, at least I have been saying that it's going to be more bureaucracy-based. Industry, I guess. Remember, we've touched on things like car manufacturers using Metaverses to set out their plants and better streamline their process. I wonder if this is what it means. Digital twin technology is already widespread. I don't know what this. When the metaverse is fully realized, how will it change our lives? Will it transcend today's notions of social media? Yes, I think it will. Will it transform commerce? Yes, I think it will. Will it revolutionize entertainment? Yes. Create elaborate virtual worlds for us to interact with? Maybe. Perhaps the metaverse will do all of these things over time. Yeah, I think so. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
But I would argue that the metaverse will have its biggest immediate impact on another facet of our lives. It will change the way we work. Not according to Mark Zuckerberg's team. He couldn't even get them to use their own platform.
You're against the Zuck.
Yeah. The metaverse will have a deep and lasting influence on industry and business before it reaches its full potential in the consumer realm. It's already happening. While social media and gaming companies are taking their first strides into the metaverse, major industries from auto manufacturing, I remember that one, to shipping to mining have already taken several laps around the metaverse track. I mean, it is the way these things are happening. There's two members of my immediate family who work in high-rise construction. And one of them's my dad. He has been in high-rise construction since I was a baby, basically. Like the city that I'm from, the Gold Coast. It's if you search up Gold Coast, Australia, and look at the images, you're going to see massive high-rise buildings, like a big cluster of them. So he was involved in a lot of the construction of the very early days of that, and as I said, he's still in there. Technology has completely revolutionized the construction industry, and like he's an old school guy, and it's kind of funny to hear his stories where now technology is taking over. So you've got these college graduates, or what we call university graduates, coming out that are kind of the project managers, and they're sitting in the office and flying drones up to inspect the workers as they're building, and all the old guys hate it. They just want to chuck things at it, So it's really interesting to see the clash of the generations.
Yeah.
So it's kind of already happening, where that kind of technology is completely revolutionizing how things like manufacturing and construction are being done. I'd imagine taking that a step further, like drone technology into metaverse technology, be very interesting.
True.
Welcome to the industrial metaverse. Here we go. Yeah, we're witnessing the rapid emergence of a metaverse focused solely on industry. The industrial metaverse may still be in its formative stages, but its early adoption of digital twinning. What does that mean? Digital twinning is already showing results. Is that like, remember that project you had the thing for where it scans the room?
Yes.
Maybe that's what it means, something like that.
Oh, maybe.
You're twinning it digitally. So far, digital twins have been used mainly for monitoring and analysis, but the full potential of industry metaverse is far greater. As edge and cloud processing capabilities, private 5G wireless networks, and new sensing interface and AI technologies are added to the mix, we'll move from a state of awareness to a state of control. That's cool.
Yeah.
Instead of merely digitally monitoring the factory floor, which is like I just said with the droning, like monitoring what's happening, we'll be able to virtually manipulate it. Ooh, that's creepy. Workers will perform augmented maintenance with detailed schematics and step-by-step visual instructions projected into their field of view over the machinery they are repairing. Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah.
So like we looked at with the Apple glasses, where it projects like a AR screen. Yeah, imagine you're working on a machine and it's showing you in your field of view, how you have to do it, what you have to do. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Eventually, some of those same maintenance workers will work from the safety of their desks, taking virtual control of repair robots that they can command remotely. Oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Automated robots will operate within both physical and digital realities, gaining awareness of every person, machine, and process on the factory floor so they can orchestrate their tasks in the most efficient way possible. This is really interesting. So I left school when I was 15 and I worked in a kitchen door factory. And then later on, when I put myself through university, I think I mentioned this before, I worked in a slaughterhouse, and then I also worked for a couple of years in a massive bread factory, basically.
I always cringe when you say slaughterhouse.
Well, that's what it was. So one of my jobs in the bakery, you're just a robot. Like, you're stacking up bread pans and you're putting them on a conveyor belt to go to the thing that spits the dough out. I'm like, that's just a full-on robot repetitive job. That'd be cool to be sitting in a nice air-conditioned office and with your Xbox controller doing it, controlling a robot. Because I ended up blowing out both my elbows doing that job. It was a tough job because the the bakery tins, they all come out sticky. They're all stuck together. They weigh a ton. So that's really interesting. So we always worry about how robotics are going to take away jobs. Going to take a jobs.
Well, if that's the thing, for what you just explained you did, yeah, you wouldn't be in an office doing that. You would just not be existing.
Yeah.
I think the robot drones fixing the buildings are a lot more something that like people have to have know-how for. So like, yeah, that would be a complete robot without anybody in the background.
So I guess you're right. That's kind of unskilled. That's an unskilled workforce. Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
Versus a skilled. So yeah, that's a good point too. And it's like I talk to my kids, like especially my 2 older boys, like the jobs you're going to have are not even invented yet. So don't stress too much. So that's interesting. Just as the metaverse will fuse with OT, operational technologies, will witness a similar merging of digital and physical realities in the IT world. We are already seeing the metaverse-powered collaboration and communication tools so crucial in the pandemic era. Next, we'll see the metaverse injected into the core productivity tools that make businesses function, eventually merging the OT of the factory floor or warehouse with the IT of HQ headquarters. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. That's a side of things that I've certainly not thought about this side of things. Aside from that kind of, like I said, we touched on that, what was it, car manufacturing. So, I don't know. This is definitely one that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on as well. So there's a lot in this article if you want to check it out more.
Yeah, that's a nice long article to dive into. There's a lot of things to take apart, so definitely recommend you guys getting in on it.
Especially if you're not an old fogey like Cheese and me, and you're looking to, if you're one of those people that are looking to upskill, your education or whatever, maybe, not educational advice, but it might be worth, if this is something you're passionate about, it might be worth looking into.
Definitely.
All right, now the next one, kind of follow us on that for a little bit. Wuri Bank unveils 3D powered metaverse trial service. Now, I put this one up because we've talked about how, things like fast food and retail clothing, shopping, that sort of thing, they're primed to transfer into Web3 with, NFT, NFTs and metaverse, aspects to them. Banking? Really? Metaverse bank?
Like, so how is this going to work with 3D powered metaverse bank?
Yeah, Wuri Bank announced the debut of a metaverse trial program based on 3D. The bank will offer, I guess it's different kind of services, one for contact with small company owners and a second for the learning and development of its personnel using the MOIM metaverse system. Between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., small firm owners can access the Metaverse subsidiary via computers and mobile gadgets and interact with the agency's director via telecommunication concerning blah, 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 blah. So
I have no idea what this means.
Would you put on your Oculus headset to go and do your banking? I mean,
well, there are people who have either physical or mental difficulties leaving their house. This would be something that you can open the door for them, for experiences that they wouldn't have been able to otherwise experience.
True. I remember it was last week or the week before we talked about how, like, there's going to be a way to do these things where maybe it was the augmented stuff where you're going to get involved in these sort of things where it will be like a website based, but it'll just be at the next level. Banking just seems weird. And, you're interacting with essentially the agency's director. I guess we talked about how you could interact with AI bots. Remember that whole communication thing?
Yeah.
This metaverse has been operational since December 2021. 3D elements, blah, blah, blah. The bank stated employees may get training and presentations from invited professionals in the digital world. Well, that's kind of what Facebook's setting up to do as well, which mitigates the disadvantages of both in-person and non-contact instruction. Yeah, that aspect. Like I have to do, as a teacher, I have to do professional development things, and it's such a pain in the ass. I got to spend my Saturday driving to some bloody place, try and find a park to do these professional development things. If I could just do it, remotely, I'd definitely do it. So I don't know. Maybe the whole bank thing just triggered me a bit, where it's more about the
Now, I have a
management of it.
question. I have a
Yes.
question. Do you think they'll start trying to take advantage of working hours and weekends for people with this, saying like, oh, well, you don't have to come in. All you have to do is just kind of like get on the virtual reality thing. It's not like work or anything. Like, do you think they'll try to take advantage of that sort of thing?
Well, my industry already does. Like I said, a lot of these professional development sessions, they're on the weekends. I'm like, well, if it's a good professional development session that you think I should be doing, then you should be allocating time within my normal working hours to do these things. My downtime is precious to me, not just as a human that has a life outside of work, but I'm a father. I got all sorts of stuff going on. So yeah, absolutely. If there's a way that they can palm that off to take advantage of it, they will. So
Yeah.
good point. But because that's something that I push back fiercely against. Like I'm full on unionized person in my teacher life. Like when I come home from work, that's my home time.
Yeah.
A lot of teachers face they're under a lot of pressure to work from home, do reports and all this, that, and the other thing. The only time I ever do reports from home is if I have failed to keep up with my tasks at work. So I kind of self-punishment. It's not something that I accept as an ongoing expectation of unpaid overtime. Now I push back pretty hard against that. All right, we've got a couple more things to wrap up on. I got to go back to Sherry's screen.
Sherry's screen.
Sherry, Harry. Metaverse minus the headset. A deeper look at Lenovo's Project Kronos. This wearable free full body motion sensing solution announced at CES is currently at the prototype stage. Lenovo's desktop boss explains more. So, we've looked at Meta's headset. We've looked at the Google headset, I believe, which was much smaller and looked a lot more user-friendly. We looked at Apple's AR, VR glasses, which look amazing.
Inexpensive.
Here's another. Here's another one that's different. So there was an intriguing announcement from Lenovo. Do you want to take this away?
So we're going back to the Wii. Remember the Wii?
It looks like it. Yeah.
I actually hooked up our Wii because there's this game called Fortune Street. It's so fun. There was also an intriguing announcement from Lenovo, Project Kronos, a camera-based full-body motion capture system that allows you to animate an avatar in the Metaverse, that's the Wii, without the need for a headset or other wearable sensors.
You're dead right, Cheese. This is the Nintendo Wii.
The Wii.
When was that released? 15 years ago.
Yeah.
At least.
And you can still do it. Like, we still have like that. You could do the tennis. Look at Cody, Banana Sim. He does it with his family, the tennis and the baseball.
That's a pretty good point, because that, for its time, that was pretty good tech, like the boxing and all of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let's see how much they want to charge for this, though. Even though the technology is there, and the Wii did a great freaking job. Let's see.
Details on Project Kronos, which is still very much a work in progress, were limited. Blah, blah, blah.
Work in progress. Come on.
With the rapid evolution of hardware technology and AI, Project Kronos can push the boundaries to enable near real-time motion capture, allowing new levels of freedom for people to interact and engage within virtual spaces. Yeah, you did right. This is the Wii. That's funny.
Is this article 15 years old?
I mean, unless it can refine it where it's going to capture facial expressions and that sort of thing, that'd
Yeah,
be
but
next level.
why do you need that for like exercising or playing games?
Yeah, this is bizarre. Whether used for virtual fitness, Nintendo Wii, vlogging, okay, that's different. Gaming, virtual walkthroughs, etc., etc. Our concept will enable people to seamlessly switch between digital worlds, and a rich catalog of options opens the possibilities to faster user adoption. What?
I'm so interested in the price. This is going to cost $1,500.
Yes, and here we go. Look, also, why is a handheld remote control required? That's
just like the Wii. Just like the Wii.
By incorporating a handheld remote control within the system, we're giving users the option to switch between body-driven control and a more stationary interaction. This is crazy.
Yeah, that is
Has this
crazy.
guy been in a coma for 20 years? Here we go. How good is the tracking of facial expression and eye movements? Project Cronus can track facial expression, including the user's microfacial expression. Okay, so that takes it to the different level, eye movement and mouth movement. We've achieved this through the adoption of 3D point cloud technology that captures more than 50 active units around a person's face. It's an impressive technology that we're excited to continue exploring in this proof of concept stage. Okay, so if this is taking the foundations of the Wii, yeah.
That's a very niche, very niche.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm glad they said that, because if they didn't say that, it's just a Wii ripoff straight off.
To me, it's still.
We are not positioning Project Cronus as a gaming solution currently, but see a lot of potential in all its intended use cases. However, I really think people who currently use motion capture suits or other wearable devices to control their virtual avatars in the VTuber space will gravitate to this technology because of the freedom it provides. Wow. Okay.
Fitness is another area that I think people will see its appeal.
I remember doing that on the Wii, like jogging and going, you go past people and stuff. And wasn't there the Wii, didn't it have like this band thing you could do all these different exercises with? Like it was the Wii hoop or something?
Yeah, you had like the little, they had weight controllers.
Yeah.
That like if you wanted to hold the weights.
Yeah, yeah. What a classic. Social chatting. Yeah, is there a price? Will I be able to take my Lenovo avatar into a virtual world created by Metaverse, Microsoft, Google, fluff. That's all fluff. You can check out this yourself. What will be the next? When will we get an indication of the final product name, release date, and pricing? Here we go. The ecosystem is still under development. We will announce its final name, release date, and pricing when it's further launched. Cop out. Cop outs. Cop out. Yeah, that's
like unless you could take your avatar and go anywhere with it, which that's not even possible yet.
Nope. Yeah.
Just buy a Wii.
Yeah, go and pick one up from eBay with 50 games. Probably cost you a couple $100 maybe.
I'm so glad we still have our Wii. We still play it. The games are amazing. That Fortune Street, if you guys like Monopoly and stock trading.
Yep.
Fortune Street is where it's at.
Nice. I think we've still got the Nintendo Wii Fitness and all that shoved under one of the kids' beds somewhere. Gathering dust.
Check it out. Revolutionary.
Shake it off. Shake it off. All right. Last article for this week. Now, this one, I'm super interested in this one. And I was hoping to look through this one with our guest, but that didn't pan out. So we'll dive into it together. These are the best Metaverse crypto games to play in 2023. What are we expecting here, Cheese? Splinterlands? What else? Avalon the Druid might be in here, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Geez, that game is like so frontier.
Now, we started the show by looking at the article that was, highlighting how Upland players have made $10 million US in sales. Is Upland going to be in this list, Cheese?
I hope so.
I haven't looked at the list. All I did was capture the heading, so I've got no idea.
Oh wow. Yeah, I hope so.
So
It
I'll
better
go the
be.
wine on this, and you go the cheese. I reckon it's going to be a wow. See how
Let's
we go.
see. If it does, then it's a stupid article that knows nothing.
Metamasters Guild.
What's
Oh, hang on. I
that?
thought that was just a picture. All right, the first one we've got up is Battle Infinity. IBAT.
Well, see right there, they have a token. Avalon doesn't have one. I don't know. Like not everybody needs a token. Not everybody has to have the same thing. Like you know where you go to these things and you see the same thing over and over again. Like I like the NFTs. You can get rare NFTs from doing raids and this and that. Or look at Upland, you get the collections, you get the landmarks, it gives you dividends. Like I'm tired of the whole tokenomics thing, to be honest.
Yep. We rarely see that go well. Here it says some people view NFT games as a developing digital economy. That's Upland. That offers income generating possibilities. That's Upland. To a lot of families all over the globe. That's Upland. Some other persons view them as the first experience of the virtual realities made possible by the future internet generation. You could say with Metaverses and all of that sort of stuff, you could say that's Upland. A final set of people just view NFT games as a means of making a ton of cash. Some people, they're all in Upland for that. And in our opinion, all of these groups of people can be right. In our opinion, meant the people that wrote this article. So yeah, first up, Metamasters Guild. Never heard of it. Metamasters Guild prides itself as a decentralized play-to-earn game. It utilizes MIMAG as the ecosystem's official token. It operates on the Ethereum blockchain, yada, yada, yada. Fun, addictive gaming titles. Yeah, have you ever heard of Metamasters Guild? Cheese?
I have not.
Metamasters World, Metakart Races, blah, 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 blah. All right, never heard of that one. Next one, Fight Out.
No.
Fight Out. Fight Out is the latest coin to garner a lot of attention from crypto experts and influencers. This is reflected by the pre-sale, which is already closing in on the $3 million raise at this point. Ooh, I've kind of had my whine about pre-sales.
Yeah.
Despite only having begun a short time ago. How can it be? I won't go down that track. Fight Out's popularity is no surprise when you read their manifesto. They aim to combine the best parts of physical gyms and fitness apps to give users a complete and well-rounded fitness experience. It's the Wii all over again.
That's the Wii.
Clients will be able to download the app and access personalized workouts that are tailored to their strengths and goals. The best part is that you can earn rep cheese, the native currency.
Really?
I got involved in a pre-ICO fitness token way back in the day, 2018, I believe, Limpo. I did really well in that once that got listed on the market. That company has since flipped into NFTs. It's tied up with Animoca Brands. I think Animoca Brands actually bought them out. So, I mean, this has been done. This is old news. So, Fight Out is also a Metaverse coin, as users can purchase NFT avatars when they begin their fitness journeys.
This could be
trash.
There is some kind of something here. Like, so for example, they have something on the commercials nowadays where it's a mirror and you could see your stats and they could show you how you can actually do it right. So they have something like this out there, but if you can earn NFTs by reaching your goals and reaching your marks from the avatar that you purchase, I could see that being somewhat interesting if they do it right. Nobody's really done it right yet in regards to NFTs, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think that that whole fitness space will head that direction. Whether it's your actual in real life gym, there'll be, NFT achievements and all that sort of stuff. Eventually, that's where we'll get to, but we'll see. The next one, robot era. We looked at this one 2 or 3 shows ago, and remember, as soon as that word token came up, then you were like, we're out. And whatever they call, they don't call it pre-ICO now, they call it pre something or other. Yeah. In this game, you play a robot, manage your own land, and take part in the building of the world. You'll also be able to obtain resources from your land and make robot friends, create anything you can think of, and begin a new era with other robots.
It sounds like Upland with robots.
Sounds like Minecrafty Upland robots, yeah. Yeah, we looked into this one a little bit, and I was like, I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
Next, Caveria. Many experts have picked Caveria to be the biggest PTE game of 2023. A brave claim when you consider how saturated the market is currently, and that will only increase as we head into 2023. If the pre-sale, here we go again, pre-sale is anything to go by, these experts will be correct, as it has been a great success. Yeah, the pre-sale has. Thanks for all your money, suckers. The pre-sale will end on the 31st of January with the IEO with BKEX to begin right after. Yeah, that's just talking about listing the token.
Is this another card game?
Yeah, battle cards, NFT battle cards, and building a deck. It's been done.
Been done.
That's a very hard market to break into.
Yeah.
You've got such an established community, and the community of gamers, they're going to push back a bit against NFTs too. So there's still that whole NFT gamer situation. Here we go. Tamadoge. Take it away.
Tamadoge is a metaverse crypto game based on Doge that has been outstanding in the crypto gaming community. Yeah. Players will begin by buying an NFT pet with different pets, each possessing unique characteristics, weaknesses, and strengths. Players also get to affect the growth of their pets by feeding them with virtual feed, nurturing them, and purchasing treats and toys for them. The pet can be pitted against one another as soon as they are fully developed in the Tamadoge virtual arena. The winning players then move up the game's leaderboards, earning Tama tokens, the native cryptocurrency, as an reward. Tama can be spent at the Tamadoge marketplace by players to either purchase in-game upgrades or extra NFT pets. Tamadoge has been listed officially on the OKX, one of the leading crypto exchanges in the world. The listing of Tamadoge on OKX occurred simultaneously with issuance of Tama tokens to pre-order investors. The claim button on Tamadoge's website allows investors who put Tama during the pre-sale to get their tokens.
Tama, hey? What do you reckon? Buy, sell, trade, fight pets?
It's a dog fighting pig. And you have roosters fight too? You monsters. No, I'm just kidding.
Tamadoge. There we go. Let's have a look at the price here. So it's interesting to see how this is going. Okay, so we're at 1.5 cents. What's the supply? Max supply 2 billion.
Well, at least it's not in the trillion.
I believe that's billion, isn't it? Yeah, 2 billion. Yeah, a lot of these projects, I mean, that's exactly, look at that.
Yeah, yep.
That is exactly what I was expecting to see.
When you have a token, people will kill it.
Let me scroll out a bit.
It's in their nature.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much, I think you're dead right with this. Most of these tokenomics games or whatever, the chart follows this exact trend. And it's the same with the old days in the ICO. It gets released on an exchange. The pre-ICO people, the early adopters, make their bag they sell to all of the FOMO people, and then a whole bunch of people get wrecked and left holding the bag. Yeah, man. Oh, I mean, wow. Okay. Good luck with that one if you're into Tamadoge. Next, Battle Infinity. I have heard of this one. Another popular metaverse game that gets both creators and players excited is Battle Infinity. The objective of Battle Infinity is to create a multiverse of metaverses wherein players can discover a wide range of interesting adventures to explore in this metaverse platform. You can also play mini games. Sounds like Roblox, created by independent creators in addition to the game is developed by the Battle Infinity team. Yeah, that's Roblox. Blah, 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 blah. When the season ends, the best players are gifted the official cryptocurrency of the Battle Infinity, IBAT, as one of the best metaverse tokens on the market. Cheese.
Now,
here's
what I think. I think these players bought into this article to get their stuff advertised.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's the best token indeed.
One of the best tokens out there, Cheese. I have high expectations here. Oh, mine's still loading. God, I hate that. Doesn't default.
Well, the top right, it's under a penny.
Max supply 10 billion though, so that kind of tracks. What do we say? 2 billion, and was it 1 cent? So
under a penny.
I bet you the chart's exactly the same. Pump and dump.
Yeah.
Invalid symbol. Wow. That sucks. Maybe I can just go to. Wonder if it'll just show price. We'll have to use this shitty chart. Let's go to 1 month. All right. Let's just go all. Let's see. Yep, pretty much came out the gates, went up to 0.005 cents. Bit of downward action, and then she's pretty much tracking all the way down to then. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I think that article is very biased, and just kind of what people do is they'll spam message all the people, hey, do you want us to if for this price we can put your thing in an article, and just kind of
paid pump and dumps basically.
Yeah, they do that in the stocks all the time. They write the Medium articles for them, and
interesting. There was none of the. It didn't look like there was any of the big wax games on there.
Well, wax is fun. I feel like it will be something down the line, but for right now, it's fuzzy and friendly.
Well, it's definitely more new adopter friendly, or whatever the word is there. Like the price entry point is way lower than most of those Ethereum based games. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how we move forward with Solana and Polygon, and of course Ada's coming out with a whole bunch of NFT stuff. So
Solana saved its butt. I don't know how it did it, but it did. It a lot of people.
Solana it's got good foundations. They've actually got projects out there. They've got, you can go to the Solana shops in real life and this sort of thing. It's not just a mum's basement token. So, but not to say that those big projects can't crash and burn, but
it went from like $35 to under 10. It was like the one that, like, in my opinion, suffered the most.
But that was glorious. That was exactly what I was waiting for. Like when we covered that Solana, I always blank on the name. Maybe we don't want to shout them out because it ended up a shitty project. But yeah, when we had them on the show and I was looking, I want to get into this. The Solana price was really high. And I was like, no, I'm not going to pay that much. So I waited and I was patient. And yeah, I got my little bag.
Yeah, that was nice. I was able to bring my average down.
Yeah, which helps a lot. All right, so we've got, what do we got? We got 2 days left for our little Bitcoin price bet. I think you got that one in the bag. So I'll get my 50 UpX ready to send on over to your way. We'll see how we go. And yes, I don't know what I'm going to do for my 4th year in Upland officially beginning. What should I do, Cheese?
I don't know. Just keep being awesome. Just keep doing what we do, doing it as the best as we can, evolving it when we can.
I want to do an impromptu giveaway. Let me just check my accounts. I've got 462. Let's do a 40,000 UpX giveaway. If you're listening now, too late, you missed out. Sorry. I'll drop this in the MVE. I will spam and at everyone and say, drop your Upland name here. I'll keep it open for the next 4 hours. 4 hours to go in the chance for 40,000 UpX.
Wow.
And then I'll spin a wheel and we'll go from there. What do you reckon? Sound like a plan?
I reckon that's a great plan. And when you get your order for the t-shirts you ordered from the merchandise thing, when that comes in for you, I want to do another merchandise UpX giveaway for anybody who, makes a purchase. We put their name on the wheel and I'll give 100K
Cool.
UpX.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, so if you're listening to this, you missed out. So unless
not for mine.
Yeah. Unless you're one of the people that are in the MBE server. So yeah, if you are a listener and you're not in the MBE server, get yourself on over there. The Discord server, the links are in the description. Cheese often does a whole bunch of cool stuff in there, and every now and then we throw up prizes like this, and who knows, especially leading up to that first Samurai Aquatics sale. Well, speaking of that, there is actually a chance to win 50,000 UpX as the UDU Podcast Weekly Challenge. So if you don't know what that's about, go and listen to last week for me.
I was
UDU
there,
podcast.
but I forgot.
Yes, well, there you
As
go.
I do.
It's pretty easy. So yeah, go and check that out. So there's a chance to win 50,000 UpX there. There's a chance to win 40,000 UpX in the MBE. So yeah, we give away a hell of a lot of shit.
Yes, we
Hell of a
do.
lot of shit. All right, I think we're done. Cheezels.
Yeah.
Let's get the flock.
Stay fresh cheese bags.
Laters.
Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Eagle Empire, Samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the drive. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Eagle Empire, Samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. Eagle Empire, Samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the drive. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Eagle Empire, Samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. Time for wine and cheese. Wine and cheese. 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 Time for wine and cheese.
Are you looking for some of that quality outdoor decor? But you got no freaking idea where to go? Oh, come on over to Samurai Aquatics and Decor for all your outdoor decor needs. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the Metaverse, do you? Yeah, just delete that. I'm still not ready, sorry. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the Metaverse, do you? Or maybe some kind of crappy ramshackle building that, I don't know, needs a bit of extra spunk to it or something. And stop mucking about and get yourself over to Samurai Aquatics Discord to see all our available stock. We've got loads of different decor to spend your pretend money on. We got saunas to fire you up, and ice baths to chew you the fudge out. Literally stock coming out of our ears. Grills, swings, seating, and more. So much more. And if we don't got it, give us a buzz, and we could probably make it. Get yourself on over to Samurai Aquatics at 30 Aqua Vista Way in Midtown Terrace, San Francisco, lickety split, and gorge yourself on outdoor decor.